Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Christina and I'm coming to you from the Catio. And today our convo is talking about how to set boundaries after you leave and exit the narcissistic abusive relationship. Now, as we all know, if you have been in an abusive, toxic relationship, you know that the narcissist abuser has walked all over all of your boundaries that you thought you had in place and that you were took very seriously. They just walk all over them, tear them down every chance and opportunity they get. And somehow you start to begin to make excuses of, okay, well, I can let that go. I can let that slide. Or, it was one indiscretion. Let me go ahead and just let's put it in the past. Well, no. Especially when you're clear with your partner or friend or family member that if this behavior continues and what behavior is acceptable and is not acceptable to you. And if they continue to just walk all over it, then they're just stepping all over your boundaries, over your beliefs, over your personal values. So, absolutely no. Once they start to devalue you, they are going to step on every boundary, cross it, and enjoy every moment. Because I do truly believe the narcissist looks forward to any ways they can abuse us and destroy us. So, with that being said, though, after we exit the narcissistic abusive relationship and we're trying to get over the trauma bond and we're going to therapy and we're trying to do guided meditation and really focus on ourselves and healing, one of the main things I had to do is sit down and go, okay, realistically, what are my boundaries? Because at the time when the discard occurred and I finally was away from my abuser, he knocked down all the boundaries. My first boundary I put back up after the discard was when he broke into my home and I called the police. That was the first time in 18 years that I said, no, stop right there. This is it. This is the end. This is where I am now protecting myself. Not only my physical well being, but my mental and emotional state as well. So, after several months of therapy, I did write down and make a list to discuss with my therapist of what are healthy boundaries and how do we really set them. So, I'm going to read you a few that I have. They're in no particular order, but this is the way I feel of in any relationship, especially a romantic partnership, but this could also, some can apply to family, friends, and coworkers. So it kind of encompasses everything. My first rule or boundary that I have that's a deal breaker for me is definitely no cheating. I personally am a person who believes that you should be in a monogamous relationship and not run around with multiple supplies every chance you get. Um, Another huge deal breaker now for me is no physical, mental, or emotional abuse. Any of those kinds of forms of abuse is just a tactic and manipulation on behalf of part of the toxic person or narcissist. So, yes, I will not allow another man to ever lay his hands on me. My father didn't lay his hands on me, and I have no idea why on earth I allowed that man to do it for 18 years. And instead of calling the police, instead of addressing it, I just stayed quiet and took it every time. And not that it was every day, but one time is too much. And to me, moving forward in my life, I will never have somebody physically put their hands or assault me or choke me or anything else in any kind of form of physical abuse is definitely not going to happen. And it's not just in partnerships. I mean, your friends, your family, no one should be laying their hands on you in any inappropriate way. And if they do, that's crossing a boundary. And you need to make it clear with that person that this is not acceptable behavior. So that's another boundary that I had said is definitely a deal breaker moving forward in my life. Another is no name calling and no making fun of me, whether it's based on my weight, how I look, my career, anything, any aspect where you are literally destroying me, belittling me as a human being, and making me feel self-conscious. I'm not going to have someone do that again. My narcissist abuser made sure and made it clear how any way he could. How I wasn't successful, how my looks, I'm not attractive, how I was overweight. Um, and I want to be happy with myself for a change. I spent so many years being self conscious and hating the way I looked in the mirror because I felt like I was the monster that he seen. I could see, began to see what he seen in the mirror as what I started seeing. And that also makes it very difficult to receive compliments. Sometimes people will say, "Oh, you look so pretty today," or "That's a pretty outfit." And my response is, "Oh yeah, caught me on a good day." Make a joke. Like I couldn't even accept a compliment. So I'm working on that. But I can't have somebody destroying my self-worth and my self-value based on their amusement and wanting to see me destroyed. Not going to do it anymore. That's another deal breaker. Um, no mistreating and abusing the cats physically. I don't would never allow someone to hurt my cats and to abuse them, just like I wouldn't allow them to abuse me. And my ex-narcissist, there were instances where, yes, he would triangulate me with the cats, and then there were other instances where he would be mean to the cats and a particular dog I had early on in the relationship. So, yeah, if you mistreat my cats, gots to go. In fact, I'm not even going to deal with anybody. Friends, family, romantic partner. No one is going to lay their hands on me or mistreat my cats. My cats live here. Everybody else is just visiting. Just going to say it like it is. Okay. No gaslighting. I know that that's, to me, a huge thing because my narcissist abuser did it constantly. He would make me feel like I was crazy, or you didn't hear that right. Why do you always misinterpret things? Why do you twist things? Well, I know what I heard. But it's their tactic to get you to almost believe this false narrative, the narrative that they want you to remember, their truth, not what the actual truth is. So, yeah, no gaslighting of any kind. I don't know why I've tolerated that for so long. But so those are my deal breaker boundaries that I've put in place for myself. I have them written down so I can look at them every day and know that no matter what I'm going through, and any sense of friendships, professionalism, family, if anybody starts breaking those boundaries, that toxic person is out of my life. Period. Forever, it done. Not going to be discarded by another person ever again. And then I do have a few boundaries that I also, to me, are boundaries you can work through. And when I say that, if someone crosses that boundary, if you explain to them like, "Hey, this is how I feel and I feel strongly about it, if you cannot, if you can refrain from doing it, or we can talk about how to work around something where they're willing to respect you," then I'm willing to work with someone. But if they repeatedly show the pattern that they refuse to go ahead and they cross that boundary multiple times, well, then it's also a deal breaker. But I'm willing on a few things to give it a chance, give it that second chance in any, like I said, in any relationship. The first one being communication. My narcissist abuser would not communicate. He would lay on the couch, not get off his phone, not even face, to look at me, to talk to me, eating dinner, just be on his phone. No, there was no communication. Oh, and then "Oh, I told you about that." No, you didn't. "Oh, I told you about that, this, everything else." No, because there was no communication. I could talk and it was like he was just gone. He wasn't there. He was too busy texting the new supply. Or arguing with someone on social media over politics. Two favorite things to do: supply, arguing. Anyways, I digress. Respect. Respect is something I know that's earned, not given. But I like to have just a mutual respect when you're with somebody, even when you meet somebody. You have to give people the benefit of the doubt. Give them chances. And after 18 years of chance after chance after chance, I still stayed. I didn't say, enough is enough. Enough making fun of me. Enough calling me names and making fun of my weight. Enough of it. Enough making fun of my job. Enough making fun of me if I dropped something, or uh, made a mistake when I said and misspoke a word, which I'm sure you guys see. I do from time to time. We're all not perfect. But he would bring those things out to my attention and know that it bothered me and continue to do it. So, absolutely, see, just did it now. Respect. You have to respect anybody in your life. If you care and love someone, you absolutely need to respect that person. And if you don't, you truly don't love or care about them. And being supportive. That's another one of my boundaries that I've decided is a must. And, it's not a total deal breaker, but again, if it became a pattern, then absolutely it would be. You need to support people in your lives, from your friends, coworkers, your family. You don't know what people are going through on a day-to-day basis. Even if you think you know them quite well and you know their situation and how they respond emotionally to things, but you never know what's behind somebody. They can put on a smile like I did for a long time, and go out into the world and try to live my best life I could. But then when I came home, I was absolutely miserable. It was heartbreaking because I would go out and be around friends or at work and try to do the best I could to make other people's days special, make other people laugh. Because I know when I came home, the darkness I was coming home to, the loneliness. Even though I was with him, I was lonelier than I ever have been. I have more love and support now that I am on my own and away from my abuser than I did in 18 years with him right next to me. Because he was never next to me. He was only there for himself. He was never there to support me. And as much as I gave and supported him, if that's not reciprocated in any relationship, that's a boundary that if they're not willing to work on, see you later. So anyways, guys, I do appreciate you once again tuning in and watching the video. If you could, please like, subscribe, and share to help push this content out onto YouTube so more people have access and possibly understand what they might be going through. And also, if you could, drop some comments down below, talk about your boundaries and what has made those boundaries stick, and how you will make sure no one ever crosses them in the future. So anyways, guys, until next time, I'm Christina coming to you from the Catio, and you all take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.